Hey guys, welcome back to another rust repair video. In this one we have an SG Forester here, and we are going to be tackling the infamous shock tower rust.
We have kind of discovered some issues with the strut towers, certain damage. As you can kind of see, there's already a hole right here. Comparison, there's not a hole developed yet, but you can tell there's a lot of rust. This shock tower, actually both shock towers, have already been previously kind of not replaced, but basically you can see that there are a few welds and there are a few patches already made to both strut towers. Basically, yeah, so there's just some rust buildup from a previous patch job done to this car. There was moisture underneath the sound skin, not good. Previous patch jobs that weren't done properly, more rust building, just not good. We will then map out exactly where we're gonna cut, and then from there we will cut and execute our plan and hopefully weld in a better piece of metal. So it shows you how much we actually have to take away. I just had to get rid of everything. We're gonna have to clean up everything on the edges, see how far the rust goes back. These shock towers, or the strut towers, are a gift that keeps on giving. We keep on finding more and more rust as we go, and it keeps on becoming a bigger hole. So we're gonna show you guys how far we've gotten so far. It has been cut up, cleaned a little bit. Inside here, you can definitely see the cavity of all the stuff we had to get rid of. We actually found a lot more rust in this bottom piece that we originally thought we were going to keep. We're going to actually end up chopping this piece completely out like this, right across and up, and we're just going to replace this with a brand new piece. We've grinded the surface areas that will be around where the backing plate will be, and this will allow us to have a good proper weld. Bring that out of the way a little bit, but before we do any of that, we're going to blow this off, clean it up, the cavity. We're going to spray it with rust converter. Then after the rust converter dries, we're going to spray it with a black paint. We are back after a little bit of a camera intermission. Between the intermission, what we've done is we've actually welded in our back plate. So there you can see the backing plate and the top hat of the strut welded back in place. What we actually ended up doing is using this level and putting it across. Not only were we able to make sure that the car remained level, we were able to make sure that the gaps on either side of the strut tower were the same and they're identical. What I've just done is drill out the spot welds and remove the top layer of metal around this top strut tower. So we're gonna go ahead, grind all that away. Let's start grinding this down here, this metal, get all the rust off, and now we can go ahead and prepare our cardboard mock-ups. We have our piece that we left off from last night. We got our side piece of metal into the strut over there. I have dissected myself severely. So we have our secondary piece here cut out that we're going to be putting on our front face. We have our template here, and we have our line of where we got to cut. I've cleaned off the entire area for the first cover to go on. We even sprayed our weld-through primer on it already. As you can see, it looks nice and silvery. definitely looking like a strut tower. It looks like a proper strut tower. Obviously, his welds are way nicer than mine. I got to up my game on that one. So now we're basically gonna go on the driver's side, start cutting. Gonna crack this baby open like a clam. It's deteriorating as we speak. This is one piece, the entire one piece cutout. These are patches that are rusting, and we're gonna remove this one, we're gonna remove this one. We're gonna make a new piece, patch it in. So the passenger side is completely cut out to where we want to see it. We've grinded down to bare metal all around. As you can see there, both patches are in. We welded in all of our patches. We're in a good place right now.
We have now completed the welding on the inside and the outside of both of the shock towers here. We've scratched them all up. And we are now ready to get some primer on these. First I'm going to give these a good solvent wipe, and then we are ready to apply the 2-part epoxy primer. SEMA Car Builder. Here we are now after the primer and the seam sealer. We've got this all scratched up, and we're about to use some of this Proform European gravel guard on it. It's a little sample there. The stuff does spray like really nice. It's got good coverage with respect to going over the gray. And it holds up quite nice and dries rather fine. So we'll cut back after I'm done this. I'm just gonna put my mask back on. There we are, cutting back after the rocker guard in the shock towers. Everything looking pretty sweet in there. So at this point we are done with the shock towers. We can put our suspension back in and our interior back in the car, which is nice. Good little milestone there. Then it is mobile again, and now we can resume on all the rest of the rusty stuff on this. There you have it, guys. We are all done now. So this took a total of about 50 hours to complete. We have the whole interior back in the car now. We're ready to throw our wheels on and send the car for an alignment. And hopefully you found this video somewhat useful in case you are in the same situation. And till the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.